Do it. Anyway, we're live. What's going on, everybody? This is the Tempo Podcast. Yep, we are literally live right now to the internet. I hit the button. Tempo Podcast. Can you keep up? All right. So the reason why this banner is up immediately is because actually, I need to get the link for this. I will do that while I'm talking because I'm a great multitasker. Anyway,
put us in WandaVision.
So WandaVision is a really interesting new show that just dropped on Disney Plus. In case you guys were curious, I actually did take, me and Phil both took the time to watch both episodes this week. Tony did not get a chance, so we're going to go no spoilers for this review. We accidentally spoiled something for him already, a couple of things, but it happens.
The first couple episodes, black and white.
Well, yeah, that's been in the marketing and stuff like that, and that's been the whole gimmick. And that's actually what I was going to say before we went live. I was talking about it, and I was doing the thing I always do where I always spend too much time talking before we're live, and I end up having nothing to say during the show. I do that on literally every podcast I've ever been on. I'm the worst that way. But I'm going to sidetrack myself for a second by saying I do that because I usually am catching up with my friends on these shows because I'm so antisocial that I never talk to them. So it's my one opportunity to talk to people most of the time. So, and I'm not trying to say that in an awkward way. I just don't. I'm bad at time managing.
You could do the cut loud and just drop down and pop up on one of our screens with us. That
would be pretty sick. That would be some impressive editing, and I would have to actually be able to teleport like Kung Lao. But anyway, So WandaVision, I was super weird about I didn't care for the idea at first. I was like, okay. It's going to be set in, I forget what the exact time period is, but it's set back in the day, the 60s, I think. And so there's a lot of, obviously there's a lot to play with there. I have no idea how far
it's supposed to be based off their comic book. So what I've, just reading what they plan to do with it. Then I went back and looked at it again. I actually watched both episodes again. After I read about what it was supposed to be leading into.
Because it's the House of M stuff.
It's supposed to bleed into, I don't know if this is going to happen, so this really ain't no spoiler, but they're saying that Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, is supposed to be trapped them in a dimension. She forced herself out, I guess, during the Infinity War or something, into a universe she made up for herself and what her perfect life would be. Well, and then somebody ends up waking her up later on.
They kind of hinted that.
Sorry, everybody.
Previews. In the previews.
Sorry about that, everybody.
I remember seeing
I didn't say we haven't even seen a third. We don't even know if that's the case. I'm just saying, reviews from the old comic book, she put herself in another universe, and somebody ends up waking her up out of that.
Well, and that, like I said, they kind of hinted at that in the previews.
Yeah, that she's trapped.
Disney made a comment do you like this place? And she's like, yes. And he's like, all right, let's fight for it. So, you kind of get that feeling. And that's the bad thing about previews and about spoil, things like that, because then people are like, well, now I know all about it. You know what I mean?
It's like a sitcom, it's funny, it's corny funny,
yeah.
So Leave It to Beaver funny.
Yeah, so a lot of the show is very referential to shows that existed in that time period. It's really funny, I think, so far too. The comedy isn't landing for me all the time, but if it were out back in the 60s, this would be the comedy bits that they're doing would be
yeah, it would be great.
I sent that in the private chat, by the way. I was super caught off guard by the aesthetic look of the show at first. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go, being set.
I was caught off by how the characters acted.
Well, that's entirely on purpose. So I think they have them act completely different from the characters that you've seen them as to help emphasize the kind of stuff you were talking about.
Vision was
I changed the bottom graphic for a reason because that's actually the whole plot line that they're going with for this thing. And it's not a leak. It's just it was known for a while because they said this is going to be set in this weird time period that neither of these characters ever existed in. And we know one of them is dead, actually, obviously. So
yeah, but wasn't Vision Jarvis at first? When the first was super tough. He was super tough when they first brought him in. And then they just made him Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?
I won't spoil.
They turned him into straight Romeo.
To do that, even though we are technically doing a spoiler review right now, because of that.
Went from a computer, he got a little feeling of that Kuda Cat, and he was
"Do you see how ready he was when?"
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was coming in hard.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is a spoiler for you, Tony. Vision does. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, he actually does, but I mean, that was always, I always thought, I was like, wonder, because there was always hinted that we were in a relationship. I was like, I wonder if that's, or if it's just like more of an emotional thing, you know? But
Vision hit that.
Absolutely.
Vision hit that.
Vision, you know, Vision's a respectable man, is all I will say. He does what any good man would. But anyway, no, Elizabeth Olsen and okay. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany both do a really great job. It took me a little bit of time to go back to Elizabeth Olsen's performance to kind of appreciate what she's doing. Until episode 2, I wasn't really sold on her performance because I thought she was just going a little too hard with it, like trying to sell the aesthetic of the WandaVision part of the show, where it's supposed to be like that gimmick that, like I said, I wasn't that big of a fan of to begin with. But like overall, I'm intrigued to see where the show goes because. Like Phil was saying, they're hinting at a lot of bigger stuff going on in the background, which who knows what's going on. You know, I already mentioned a thing to you before the show that you want to look out for because it's one of those in your face things that like it's already super obvious what they're doing. Like if you know that thing about comics.
But you know what I really think though? I think they should have did like they do most of the like some of the other series where they put all the episodes out at once instead of doing it weekly like The Mandalorian, because it's starting out slow like The Mandalorian did.
Normally, I would agree with you.
No, I think I honestly prefer it this way because you think about it, how many hours you spend binging, you know, when Netflix put out Luke Cage and The Punisher and all that. Like, here's all the episodes. And so they, you know, first of all, watching weekly. Secondly, you're not spending all that time. And I mean, again, for them smartly, it's money because like, okay, you have to keep paying us to watch this for the next 2 months.
Right. Corny they started it, people gonna lose interest. Like this third one is really gonna have to like do something, I think, impressive because like if you look at the comments and reviews of what people are saying about it, everybody's like, what the now only true Marvel like fanatics understand what's going on. Like me, I'm a Marvel fanatic, so I kind of understand what's going on. But bringing new people in to support the MCU, like watch that stuff, they're gonna lose. They're not gonna bring nobody in new. They're only gonna bring in people who know about what's going on until they get to the further episodes. Then people might come back and watch all of them at once. When people start to be like, man, you got to see how the plot ended.
There will be people that don't have Disney Plus at the start of this month that once all 6 episodes or 8 episodes, whatever it is, come out, they will buy it for a day and then cancel their subscription after 6 episodes if they're that interested in this show, you know. Which
because a lot of people that subscribe.
Is this show generating new subscribers?
Right, that's what it
Maybe.
is.
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is probably generating more though.
I read it. Like it's a lot of people that join Disney Plus just to watch WandaVision, like just to mainly because of that.
If I remember correctly, let me get the date. I think Falcon Winter Soldier will drop right after the last episode of WandaVision. There'll be maybe a little bit of lag, but I think not long after that.
I don't think so. I don't even know if they've.
You know, it was able to film. Like they filmed like a lot of the stuff that got delayed ended up filming last year.
I thought the Black Widow movie was coming out first.
No, I don't think so. No. Everything's dates got shifted like a couple of years. It was crazy. We never actually talked about that because we weren't doing the show like at the time, but. There was a big slate released a while back. Actually, was going to do a review of it with my other.
Yeah, I actually looked at it on YouTube. A special that they have where they're showing like all the Marvel movies coming out.
I was talking about. They did 2 of those. They did one for that and one for Star Wars, and they like laid out the next couple of years of television and movies that they're going to try and do within those universes and like all aspects. Like Disney went all the way down to like animation and stuff, like all their different departments. It was really cool.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be all action. That one's not going to have any. I don't think that one's going to have any like you know, Marvel movies always got something that explains something else. That one, I think, is just going to be straight ass kicking and taking names type of movie.
Okay, we don't have a new date, but it will be probably this year. I mean, because it was supposed to come out in August of last year. Well, the reason why I say that, it was supposed to come out in August of last year, so they had a good amount of the filming already done.
Yeah, because originally Falcon and Winter Snowman was supposed to be
The
The
Winter
first-
Soldier.
Yeah, so I'm seeing right now, yeah, it's meant to be released 2021. It hasn't been dated yet, but I bet not long after WandaVision, probably.
WandaVision better get good though, because I was like, I wish I could have watched.
Well, it's a
another
slow
episode.
burn, like we were saying. It's not a quick. It's not like
I mean,
Falcon
I
and Winter Soldier will have quick payoff in a lot of episodes.
I
have
trust
seen.
that they're going to build up to that. I mean, it honestly. I mean,
You know what I want of Falcon and Winter Soldier? Completely pivoting for a second because I was just
Because-
thinking about this. I want it to be Captain America: The Winter Soldier, the movie, the show. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why I had to make the High School Musical joke, but like seriously though, you know what I mean? Like it should be that movie, just like a spy thriller with like
They're not bloody.
little
I
action
think-
in there.
Yeah,
I want
That's what that show should be.
turn rated R. Like that would be cool.
Rated R. Get Deadpool in there? No, anyway.
yeah.
That's his entry point to the MCU. My goodness. Anyway, that'd be
Deadpool 3 is coming out soon.
yeah, that should be good too. That's
Deadpool's
just
coming
got
out this
announced.
summer.
That one's pretty cool. But yeah, if you're interested in WandaVision, like if you had interest in WandaVision, you'll probably at least be intrigued by it, if not wanting to watch more of it.
Yeah, because then
I'm
you can see the
interested.
Scarlet Witch. You can see the Scarlet Witch kind of starting to act a little funny because it's like, then it's starting to get a little bit of what?
There's some horror elements to this show that I was not anticipating. And it's really cool to see that stuff being implemented, especially with the storylines going on. So, you know, I'm just going to throw this out there. This isn't going to spoil anything for anybody, but I my guess is, and I don't think anyone else is thinking this right now, but this could be how we get our first like hint at the X-Men in the MCU, like full on.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's not really a spoiler, like because in the comics, Scarlet Witch and her brother that we see in Avengers 2,
yeah.
they're mutants, and we've known that for years. They just aren't in the MCU officially. I mean, they could be, and we just haven't known. If they do that, I'm gonna be so upset. Just make them like, oh no, they're just special because reasons. It's not mutation, you know, like something like that. Like you just make them a little bit separate, but like acknowledge that they're with.
Who does the X-Men and who does the Avengers?
But what do you mean?
Does
Like,
the X-Men, don't it?
Well, they're all Marvel.
yeah, they're all Marvel
They were
characters.
owned by
But
different.
Fox do that because like
Yeah, so
X-Men
they have
and
like
stuff-
multiple squads of characters. The Guardians are technically one of them. That's like we don't think of the Guardians as the same kind of rotating group as the Avengers
Guardians of
or
the
the X-Men, but it
Guardians of the
rotates.
Galaxy is good.
Well, so the Guardians of the Galaxy rotates as much as the other comic groups do, though. So like as much as you see people come and go from the Avengers over the years, and we've even seen that in the films at this point. You know, there's a whole new group of Avengers basically.
Actually, the Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite, like one of my favorites of the MCU.
Part of the
like,
reason why they're so great in the movies
Guardians
is
of the
because they're
Galaxy
so
1 and 2.
consistent, which is kind of ironic considering if you look at the history of those comics, there's a very inconsistent team. It's not the same people ever because it's people are either getting fragged or whatever. Star-Lord dies a couple of different times, I think. Like it's, you know, like everybody in Marvel dies, by the way, at some point in the comics. So keep that in mind. If you think somebody,
I have the original Infinity Gauntlet. I actually have that comic book.
yeah, so like 20
Okay,
of the major
sure,
characters that had been
I'm
built
sure.
up to that point die in one snap. And it's crazy because like 50, when I say 50%, like you don't really get a true sense for that movie because they got to show you for scale what people look like individually that are dying. So you know who all gets snapped, right?
Looks like I'm blowing smoke into your screen.
But anyway, the what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the no, I don't remember. I
So let me get some Chantix.
what was the point I was making? I can't remember now. It was something to do with Infinity War. So you can't really get a true visualization of what the 50% looks like. In the comics, though, they can really show you because
I want to see what Infinity War look like.
well, yeah, but I'm saying like on the comics, you know, from the panels, like it's literally one panel to the next, and everyone's just dust. You know, like
I got the comic. Make sure nobody
yeah.
have my address because they'll be coming try to steal it from me.
well, yeah, I mean, it's
Worth
true.
a lot of money.
That would be worth a lot of money. The original Infinity Gauntlet is
It's worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
well,
got
I don't know how much money it's actually worth. Comic value has like gone up and down over the years, right? They kind of bottomed out a long time ago, but I mean, but
Get it?
I'm sure you know as a collector, you know.
Want to see it?
If you want to, if you could pull up a panel that has like Adam Warlock on it or something, that would be pretty cool.
I got the actual book.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you could like open the page to like Adam Warlock or something, because that's a character I want people to pay attention to. Because
Okay. Hold on one second.
because Adam Warlock is a character that's going to be in Guardians 3 probably. And he's a really important character in the actual Infinity storyline in the comics, but we don't really see him yet. But that casket at the end of Guardians 2 that starts glowing has Adam Warlock in it.
Oh.
So it'll be in Guardians because for some reason they decided to give that character to James Gunn because of whatever reason. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying like,
Right.
you know, they just gave that character to the Guardians for whatever reason. He's connected to them. Don't get me wrong. He's a space entity like a lot of these other major characters. But like, I don't know that we'll ever truly see a true Adam Warlock in the way that because when you see him, like you're gonna be like, oh, like he's literally made out of gold. What the heck? Like it's literally what he looks like. He's like a golden skinned dude that's like a super being created by the gods of the universe. To like
this is the original one.
So that's what Thanos looks like. Nothing like what he looks like at all, basically, which is hilarious.
Right. He kind of looks the same.
He does, but his armor looks completely different. If I'm being completely honest.
No, I'll just open some up, like just to give you. Like,
I mean, if there's one specific page toward the back that I really like, where it shows Adam Warlock with the gauntlet, I think at the end, maybe.
No, it shows Adam Warlock actually talking to the Silver Surfer.
Yep, because that's who warns everybody what's about to go down.
I see.
Yeah, so if you see there, that's Adam Warlock. He's got that like sort of orangish skin. He's a really cool character that is going to be in Guardians 3 more than likely. I'm really surprised they didn't include him in the actual Infinity storyline because, as you know, he's really important to that because he's like part of the reason why they're able to come up with a plan to beat Thanos at all once everyone gets snapped. Because everyone gets snapped and Adam Warlock's just like, well, guess we have less people to fight now. And they're all like, what? They just killed half of everybody. What? And then Adam Warlock's like, I don't care. It's nothing to do with me. You know, like I'm just here to make this end. And then
pretty much Adam Warlock everybody up.
So why I think Adam Warlock is an interesting character is because at one point in the comics, he gets made like the guardian of the universe. Literally, they give him like cosmic power. And then like he gets instantly corrupted by it just by being designed to not be that way whatsoever, like divinely. And then like, so like they're like, okay, nope, absolutely not. And then they just give the gauntlet back to the people because they're like, doing that is definitely worse than giving you guys the gauntlet. Like,
see, he like kills Wolverine in there, like everybody's in there.
Yeah, everybody's fighting it. I forgot that Wolverine dies during that. Yeah, and then I think that when they snap everybody back, he's back. Wolverine's capable of dying. I mean, he dies in Logan. I mean, you know.
See, this is where Adam Warlock is talking to Silver Surfer because they had a plan for Silver Surfer to try to snatch the gauntlet.
Yep.
See,
it did not work, though. Thanos was smarter than them.
Look at what they did to Cyclops, how he killed him.
Yup. Through the chest.
No, look. Put a block of ice on his head.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of brutal.
Made him suffocate.
I want to say in that fight, it's literally like the last 50 superheroes in existence or something like that. I forget. There's an actual finite number they put on it that are left. Because, by the way, the thing I was getting at, the reason why you don't get a true measure of what 50% of the universe looks like in the comics, it doesn't do it fairly.
Oh,
most of the people that die are superheroes in the comics.
This is the one he turned into a robot.
Oh yeah, it's Robot Thor. I forgot. Thor is This is his daughter right here too. This girl, the other one, the green girl's sister. Yeah, that's what she actually looked like in the comic book. Oh no. So I think that's Mistress Death, isn't it? Right?
No, that's his daughter.
His daughter?
Yeah, remember the green girl's his daughter and this
girl. Oh yes. Right. Yeah. Actually, no. That's Nebula. Actually,
yeah, Nebula. That's what I meant to say.
That you're thinking of Gamora. That was Nebula. Yeah, Nebula, very different character in the comics. A lot of the characters surrounding the children of Thanos kind of change over. They don't actually even use the right version of the children of Thanos.
They ain't even brought out Quasar.
No, there's a lot of really great characters in there. There's dude with like a volcano head or something like that, I think, on that team. Yeah, I mean, like, there's all kinds of really classic superheroes in there.
Like, this is the classic picture, though, right here, where he kills everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Iron Man with his head.
That's what I was getting at. You don't really get a sense for how insane the moment is in the comics and the film because they have to just show you each individual one. But in the comics, again, as you know, Phil, it's not proportionate. The superheroes get hit really hard by the snap. I mean, there's not many of them left. Like, to the point where even Adam Warlock, who is designed to beat Thanos literally by the universe, is like, I don't think we can do it, guys. I think we just give up. And they're like,
Adam Warlock,
that's your job. What do you mean? That's a great line of comics. Infinity Gauntlet is part of the reason why I fell in love with the MCU. Because
after he beat everybody, look who came after him afterwards. The
Galactus. Dude, can we please get Galactus in the MCU, please?
Yeah, they need to bring out the real Galactus.
I don't well because I think Galactus was in like a Fantastic Four movie at some point, maybe, or
Yeah,
like,
he was.
but he wasn't good. And I
And
would
this
like
is
to
in really
see
good condition. Anybody want
because
to buy
here's
it?
the thing: if we get Galactus, that means we're getting the Silver Surfer. So that means we're probably getting Fantastic
Well,
Four.
the Silver Surfer was already on the Fantastic Four. Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Right. I'm saying like I'd like to get the Silver Surfer, but like as a herald of Galactus. You know what I mean? Like who's actually like, going around the planets being like, all right, we're gonna eat your planet now. And they're like no. And then he's like, what are you gonna do about it? It's Galactus, bro. He enslaved me, and I'm literally a guy that's made of steel.
Look,
Not even
this
like
is a picture of
space
everybody,
level,
like when they first started fighting them. The picture, like
Yep.
all the characters.
Yeah, that Thor is so weird to me because that Thor is technically not Thor. It's different Thor because Thor is not being Thor. I think he's like unworthy Thor at this time, right? Am I crazy? Yeah,
But he came through the fight with him. I was like,
a lot of worthy, a lot.
they
Yeah,
got
a lot of,
Doctor Strange on there. Everybody, they got all the characters on there. Just about if they just would combine them, like with the X-Men, they need to bring the X-Men in there. That's
yeah,
a
that's
problem.
the only thing that's disappointing about the final fight and the final
And the
fight in
Submariner.
the MCU. Is like imagine if they open a portal and just the X-Men and the Fantastic Four just pour out, and we're all like, I'm not questioning it anyway. Like.
They even had Doctor Doom in this. Like,
Doctor Doom is a good guy in that one, technically. I mean, all the villains are for.
he was
for
a bad
short
guy. He
time.
was trying to get the gauntlet for himself.
Well, all of the villains had an ulterior motive, but they also were all helping out the heroes because they wanted to not die.
Let me put this up. I'll put this in my
Yeah,
special.
go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and switch topics after this too, guys, because we've been going for about 20 minutes on just like Marvel stuff. We'll get to some sports and some other stuff, but just to wrap up, like that's why I love the MCU so much, is because there's so much opportunity there, like to where they can do these shows now, where they don't have to be separate from, like they don't have to completely separately exist like the kind of the shows did before, where even though they technically counted toward the MCU, the Jessica Jones and your Luke Cages and such, they only ever were like, oh, remember the Battle of New York? That was crazy. That was the closest they ever really got to crossing over. And I think maybe like Phil Coulson being on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is again the closest that show ever really gets to crossing over. Imagine if Quake showed up, that'd be cool. But anyway, I think the MCU still has plenty of opportunity to salvage.
Yeah, and that whole series is a really great.
They had to have dealt to them because it was supposed to be Marvel's off year, where they only released 2 movies, first time in years, and they're both pretty B by the standard of Marvel because one of them's an unknown Guardians of the Galaxy sort of style thing, except without the comedy. It's
they got to do something against DC because DC dropped 1984, even though we didn't like it that much. A lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the majority opinion is on it. I've mostly heard negative.
Tomatoes rating was just terrible, and I mean, yeah, everybody was
pull up the audience score right now. I mean, I can.
But it's the only thing to go see, to watch new, really, from superheroes. Period. Right now.
Well, because I mean, the thing is, they just look at numbers. Like 5 million people watch this.
It's not the same thing as box office, right? You can only translate to how many people didn't have.
It kind of pretty much disappointed 4.5 million people.
74% of the audience score. So that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty decent as far as most movies go, But overall, it's not that great. It's yeah.
But besides that, you also got shows like Cobra Kai. I've been watching We Are Gods. That's good.
Let me switch this.
Which one?
We Are Gods.
All
right. So, all right, I'm gonna ask you guys because I just don't know what direction we want to go in.
Cobra Kai is awesome. Have you seen Cobra Kai yet, Tony?
I've watched like 5 episodes. I'm still I'm trying to watch in between.
Karate Kid 1 and 2, I think are the ones that count towards the series.
No, 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
I gotta look that up because I don't.
Has it got Kreese in it? Like, have you gotten to far where you seen Kreese come back? His old?
No. I've only watched like 5 episodes from the season.
Oh, his old sensei comes back.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, I've seen a lot of the previews. I know Ali comes back because I've still read some of the articles.
I gotta find out if the 3 movies are on some streaming service somewhere because I saw them on something.
Even the one that James was in, is gonna link.
They brought everybody back for part 2. Ali, Daniel's son, he one of the main characters. They got kids. Yep. It's crazy. Johnny on there, like Kreese, I'm talking about they brought everybody back except for Mr.
The ratings.
Yeah, I gotta look and find it if those movies are on any streaming services right now because I've seen Karate Kid 1 and like I was earlier.
IMDb. I don't know if they're on. I would think they'd be on Netflix.
Maybe I would think so if they have the property right now. Maybe they.
Cobra Kai, I think it is on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Some other streaming deal. I mean, you know, sometimes those
Cobra
deals.
Kai's on Netflix. I don't know about the Karate Kid movies.
Yeah, they're on there.
IMDb.
Yeah,
Karate Kid's on there.
Okay, I because I've seen one and I've seen because this is what I was telling Phil before the show.
1, 2, and 3.
I saw the Jaden Smith remake, and my Karate Kid experience is so all over the place. Like I got to see the other two movies that way I can watch Cobra Kai.
So the next Karate Kid's on Netflix, which was what's her name? Hilary Swank.
Yeah, that was trash.
Oh yeah.
No, nothing's like Daniel's son and White's son.
No.
Is Daniel's son even in the second one?
Yeah.
They
went to Japan.
He's in part
I'm
1.
like, which ones account and stuff like that because that's the ones that are gonna matter to me because I just want to.
He's on part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
Karate Kid part 3 where he goes back in the tournament again to defend his title.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember really enjoying the first one, especially when because it builds up really nicely in that sort of samurai storytelling way where he finally knocks dude out at the end and you're just like, damn, like
right.
And that's the star. That's the star of Cobra Kai.
And that's why I understand why they went around sort of the bad guy storyline. You know what I mean? Because it's what intrigues me so much about the show. What makes me want to watch the other two movies so I can watch it. Is that I'm like, he is kind of a bully in that. They may have bullied him at first, but he went and got trained by
part 3 too.
He's literally bullying them in the tournament because they're doing it for pride. At this point. They're literally fighting for pride. He's out there knowing he's going to kick their ass.
It's set off of part 3 because part 3 where he loses his bully rank. Like part 3 is where he loses his bully rank. Like he's like, I got second place. His coach is like, I want to tell you the movie, but he's like, that's how it works. Part 3 starts from the end of part 1.
Okay, so what is 2? Is 2 like he places in between or something? Or
yes, yeah, part 2 is in between where Daniel goes to learn extra stuff in Japan.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's different.
No,
and it's probably different. I'm assuming.
If you have Prime, they have all 3 of the Karate Kid movies.
Prime? Okay, I do have Prime. I actually just got Prime for Twitch subs.
Oh, nice.
I have so I've been on Twitch TV again recently. I have 9 active gift subscriptions right now because I've been on so many streams lately. It's crazy. I've been back into it. I was on Twitch back when it was called Justin.tv. That's how long ago I was on Twitch.
Oh, hi.
I've never been on Twitch. Is that
really interesting? If you're bored and you want to watch some video game content that's literally happening right as you're watching it, well, to a point, it's a good watch, especially if you're into certain games. Like, I don't know, I troll around Call of Duty and Halo every now and then, and I find people. I watched a guy playing Halo.
I still got Borderlands. I got to play that. I got the game. I never played it.
That game is so good.
I'm about to cancel my Game Pass. I'm just gonna shift to gaming for a second because I have 5 minutes on this. I finished my complete replay through of Assassin's Creed 2 through 4, which is 5 or 6 games. And so it's the Ezio story and then the Kemway story, which is really good. It's the best games in my opinion of the series. I finished that playthrough and I was basically trying to 99% every game. I didn't truly because Assassin's Creed 4 is a 60-hour experience to 100%. So I was like, but then I didn't do that. And my plan was to eventually play one of the new Assassin's Creed games. And as I was getting to the end of Assassin's Creed 4, I was like, when I did this before, in quarantine, Syndicate just killed the series for me. I just couldn't play beyond that, the 5th one. And so I decided to download a different game, and I got the Game of the Year edition of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which 150 hours of gameplay if I 100% it. So I'll be good for a while. But I'm not going to 100% this game because it's absolutely ridiculous. But
if they send out a stimulus check, I'm going to get 2 new controllers because one controller's broke. I can't use the right button, and the other one, brand spanking new, just for some reason it won't stop going left.
Combine the 2 controllers, your problems will be solved.
I need you to do that for me. You sound like a controller mechanic.
I absolutely have no idea how to manipulate it. I wonder if I could get to it easily. I have a really cool controller a few feet away from here. I think it might be in a box somewhere. I have this LED controller.
I got a pink controller because it was cheap. It was only $25. No,
This was given to me by somebody. I can't remember who. Somebody gave me this. I think I can find it. It should be like right around here somewhere.
I'm
I'm gonna do it.
anybody got an extra controller, I would appreciate a donation of an Xbox controller because they are so
360.
expensive.
Doesn't help you much.
No, Xbox One controller.
Yeah. I do have an extra one, but I think I'm the worst kind of person. I have two Xbox One controllers for no reason at all, other than I know I might accidentally break one day. You know, not like on purpose. Drop one and it breaks because I'm terrible with stuff like that.
You know, like
I've seen the controller, so I'm assuming I put it away. But
I stepped on my controller by accident. I left it by the bed and got up and
go to GameStop. They got them for like $40 used.
That's true. That's true, and they're usually pretty.
They're always sold out.
What about
that's fair. Controllers and capture cards are always out of stock. And I'm the same wall at GameStop, and it's so frustrating.
But look, I bought a used one for $25, man. That controller stupid. And it plugs straight in, so it's not wireless.
Like, oh, I have these things. It's like no one's gonna believe that I have anything. They're just like I'm debating them constantly.
right?
I swear I have this cool controller. It was given to me by a friend who didn't need it anymore because he was like getting over. I could get my old Xbox 360 controller to prove I even had one. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, that's gaming update. So yeah, Witcher is really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not very good at it yet, but I just started playing it.
Witcher, what is that about?
It's so the reason why I started playing it is because they did a show with Henry Cavill, the guy that plays Superman right now, called The Witcher, and it's based on the games. So I was really kind of more just trying to get a vibe for the series, kind of just through the games, because I'm sure it's not that similar, but I just kind of want to get a vibe for the lore of the world, right? Because that's going to be what's the connecting tissue is the story bits, right? So far it's really interesting. I'm kind of curious what the show will be about because it doesn't seem like it's one of those games that's an RPG that really is story driven. It's more, I feel like, gameplay driven because it's very much a lot of go do this, go do that. It's not like a lot of, there's some fighting in it, but it's more like run around and do these missions and, fight enemies when you have to kind of
thing. Well, like Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto, you can kind of play through. Technically, you could beat that game and never really play it the way it's intended. There's certain missions that are going to require you to do stealth in that game, admittedly, but like you could technically be wanted the entire time and win because you could just lose the cops, right? So
and that's one of the reasons that it's been so popular. I mean, they're like, why should we work on a new Grand Theft Auto when they
are too, which I'm like, why waste the development time when you could just add more to GTA 5? But I get it,
Like, I'm not buying it again. Like I bought it on the 360
or
first came out.
Red Dead 3 maybe even, which probably is never going to happen.
Everybody plays GTA 5 together though. They be on their headphones like, Phil, you got the game so you can log in. I'm like, they be going to rob banks, get points.
Yep.
Dude,
nobody even play the normal game no more.
The best part. Dude, I remember when GTA dropped on 360 and it didn't have heist, and they talked about heists, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, heist! That'd be so sick!" And it didn't happen until Xbox One, and everyone was so mad. And then they finally added heist, and they instantly added them to 360 too. It was so bad. It was like they had everything ready, and they just didn't do it for whatever reason. Like I don't know. Rockstar's weird like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This
Anybody heard any reviews about the PS5?
Of our topic. We're gonna have to like speed run through some of these. So I'm just gonna do that. So I don't care about politics anymore because we won. No, I'm just kidding.
Not unless they, not unless well, yeah. Unless they send us another stimulus check, that's kind of all I care about right now. Like,
yeah, so that's I'll do my little joke, but like beyond that,
Joe Biden just proposed it today.
$1,500. So
a stimulus check and moving minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Yeah, and he did like what was it, 17 executive orders or something like that.
15 yesterday, I think,
and then two or three today. Like, yeah, I mean, he's doing it. He undid a lot of stuff. Big fan of the Paris Climate Agreement being back. Big fan of us also being back in the WHO.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure how much legal authority he has to do some of this stuff, but I'm sure if he orders the government to do some of this stuff, they will end up inevitably doing it. Kind of like how with Trump, how he would say things, even though he didn't have the legal authority to. And even though, because I think honestly, sometimes an executive order is literally just like here, do this, instead of like, it's like literally a direct order. I hope he can get us I can really use it right now. I'm not doing poorly, but it's right after holiday, so we're limited on hours.
Yep.
And so I could use a little bit extra money right now. And so
that would be great.
So yeah, $1,400 is what they're talking about. So people are like,
inauguration.
can we talk about, well, before we get to that, can we talk about how people are being really dumb right now with this? I was told 2,000, now it's 1,400.
Yeah.
Look, dude, it totals out to 1,400, and it's all being given to you by the Democrats. If you had any question before, now you know for sure that the original 1,200 you got had 0% to do with the Republicans. It was all the Democrats trying to get that to you. Keep that in mind.
Right.
When you vote next time. You don't have to change the way you vote. Just keep that in mind when you know who you're voting for. Remember that Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul ranted on Capitol for hours about why you didn't deserve the 600, let alone 1,400 more.
Hey, am I the only person that watched the inauguration and thought somebody was going to get assassinated?
You're not. Everyone was tuned in. I bet it was the most watched inauguration in ever because of that.
Seemed like it was short, though.
I mean, Trump's might have been more watched for for similar reasons, but yeah, I think it probably was, and it was the least attended probably in recent memory too. It was crazy.
Yeah, I watched it. I was nervous, like somebody going.
I stayed up. I had to work at 4 hours when it was going on, and I was still on. Like I was still up watching it from the previous day, having stayed up from the previous night's work at 3 a.m. getting off work. Like it was. Yeah. I'm still like on lack of sleep now from that too. Brutal. But anyway, it's been a rough week, boys, but I'm still here. I'm making it. And you didn't even notice. But anyway,
magic cigarettes.
No, it's honestly like I've gotten really good at not caring about lack of sleep at this point because this like I said, holiday was rough this year. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I want to see them do well. Stuff like this annoys me. Like, why you like? I heard something like he pardoned
some rappers.
Pardoned Lil Wayne. Pardoned his friends, right? Like people he knows, right, or something like that. Like I don't know. Like,
hey man, really, honestly, that's some stand-up shit. Like, if I had some friends in jail and I was the president, honestly, like if you all were in jail and I was the president and I'm about to like get out of office, I'd be like, before I go,
that's normal.
Let Garrett go.
That's normal. But the amount that he did and who he did, I mean, I read he pardoned Lil Wayne. I'm like, who pardoned? Like Steve Bannon, who was one of the security chiefs, I think. I'm just like,
and the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, right.
I just like it's funny for me too because like I just want them to do right by the country at the end of the day, whatever they believe that is, as long as they're doing that, and I just don't know. I thought I had a third political story.
I bet Joe Biden nobody.
Vaccines are going to be rolling out more effectively under Biden allegedly, so we'll see. I heard today, I don't know how true this is. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I heard this today. The Biden administration is claiming when they came in, there was zero plan for rollout of the vaccine.
Oh, I agree. I bet there wasn't.
And I'm just like, that would explain why there was like literally no rollout, basically.
I mean, they had people taking. I mean, Biden took it.
Yeah. I mean, AOC took it too. I mean, like, there's plenty of people that have taken it. Most of them that could have gotten it, I'm assuming haven't or something. Like, the way it's all been phrased to me recently has been like, I'm
not taking the vaccine. Why? I want to see what happened to everybody else first. All right, you take the vaccine and you grow an arm out your nipple. You're gonna grow a little mini arm. It's gonna grow like from right here, or you're gonna mess around and take the vaccine and some freaking bugs are gonna be attracted to your ear. Like, what's wrong?
All right, I'm done. I'm done with politics. All right,
are you gonna mess around and?
All right, now the things that matter.
Take the vaccine and
right.
Gonna make you grow a vagina. You like.
The Cleveland Browns have been eliminated by those slippery, slimy Kansas City Chiefs, and that I can't even be mad at him. Patrick Mahomes looks great out there.
I can't even be mad.
Like, look great out there, dang it.
Right. I mean,
no, I could be mad because they had a chance to score 2 times. They gave Mahomes a concussion in the second half. They kept the score stayed the same whole half.
In the first quarter. Where was that?
They were supposed to at least score one more touchdown. That's all they had to do.
Hey, I'm
you had one job.
Let's all rejoice in the fact that Baker Mayfield probably earned himself another contract. We got Baker still.
They had one job. They had a whole fourth quarter to do it. Score 1 touchdown. They had the ball majority of the fourth quarter and could not even get a damn field goal. I'm like, I'm proud. I'm not, no. They knocked Mahomes out. First good thing. I mean, I hope you're all right, you know what I'm saying, for the concussion, but I'm just saying they quarterback was out. They quarterback threw an interception. You knew this dude was trash. He threw a Hail Mary on second down straight into the end zone for an interception. I mean, it wasn't even close to who he was throwing it to. You know, this quarterback did not know the plays. They are not going to score again for the rest of the game. They coach should have been, I wouldn't even been paying attention to the defense. I'd have been like, y'all just score one more time.
Mm-hmm. I can't even be mad. I mean, the Browns, it's been what, 25 years since the
Literally
Browns?
25 years, something like that, since they were in the playoffs. It's insane.
For home,
you can prove it here, they prove it. Whatever, man.
The Chiefs, like, they are killing it. That's like Tom Brady. You can't be mad at Tom Brady.
I'm gonna say it. If Odell was not injured, they would have probably won.
No, it probably would have been worse. I think he's doing better without Odell.
Well, that's my thing. Like, how many games did they lose while he was playing?
I mean, they were still winning. I mean,
all of them?
I don't think so.
No, they were. They had a winning record for a good amount of the season.
After he was gone,
when he was playing,
they were. The crazy thing was the Browns were basically talked about as potentially being a playoff team most of the year, like, which has never really happened. Like everyone was like, "There's no way it'll ever happen." But look at the Browns.
They
guys.
barely made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
If they wouldn't have beat Pittsburgh that last game, they wouldn't. If they would have beat Pittsburgh that last game, they wouldn't even been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they barely got in the playoffs, and then they had to play Pittsburgh again.
They were in the playoffs already, I think.
Nope, they had to beat Pittsburgh.
Pretty sure they were a wild card team, but I could be wrong.
On the wild card, everybody was 10-5.
No, I mean they were like one of the teams seeded in the wild card slot.
Like their division is so competitive. Everybody in there only lost like 5 or 4 games.
Yeah, I want to say they seeded in the top 6. I could be wrong. I'm
looking at Tampa Bay though. I'm with Brady, man. I'm with him. I give up. He's the GOAT.
He's
the GOAT, man. I'm like,
yeah, I'm telling you.
Like, he's really the Michael Jordan of football. Like, there's just nothing you can talk all the trash you want about Brady, but he went from the Patriots, and the Patriots won the Super Bowl last year, to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, Kansas City won last year, but the year before that, the Patriots won. Yeah. And then went to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's still going to the same place that he goes with when he was with the Patriots. The Patriots at least got that far.
Yes, I'm looking at the standings.
Tampa Bay did it. It's Brady.
Yeah, they definitely did make it. It even says they clinched a spot because the reason why is because they were a game ahead and several games ahead of everybody else in the AFC.
Now Tampa Bay do got some extra because they got Antonio Brown.
2 games ahead, actually, a loss and a win.
About that.
Finally,
how did they manage to have a loss and a win on Miami? That's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, there was going to be a couple of teams from multiple divisions anyway, just because of the way things worked out. The weird thing that shook up the AFC this year was the collapse of Houston. Right, that's been a consistent AFC team for years.
I think Green Bay or Tampa Bay gonna win it though.
Yeah, let's go straight to predictions. I have this set up, so let's go straight to the predictions on this.
I'm going Tampa Bay.
I predict the Super Bowl will be Packers Chiefs.
Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think the Packers will win?
Who the Packers play? They play Tampa Bay, don't they? Yeah. Packers play Tampa. Nah, it's gonna be Tampa Bay. And who the Chiefs playing?
I mean, it's MVP Aaron Rodgers.
The Bills ain't got Mahomes though. I mean, I'm sorry, the Chiefs don't have Mahomes. I think he's still out.
Well, he'll be in that game. He'll be in that game.
Limited practice yesterday. Yesterday they said he was in limited practice.
He's the star of the NFL on the team with the might be the best record in the NFC. NFC.
Hey, the Bills ain't no joke. It's just they can't score though. They're more defensive.
They're what they are is so weird, and it's why they won that Super Bowl is because they come back from they come back not even in the fourth quarter. They just come back from double-digit leads, which you're not supposed to be able to do in the NFL. At least not easily, like without some serious mess ups from the other team, which is what happened with San Francisco, by the way. San Francisco lost
Kansas City and Tampa Bay
too. It wasn't just Kansas City winning; like they lost that game too. Like there were some mistakes made by San Francisco that lost on that Super Bowl. But
I think Rodgers is scared of Brady.
I don't think he is. I think
just like the Saints.
I think he wanted to meet him on the other side for years, and the fact that he gets to meet him for a championship now, when they're both playing for legacy at this point, like. I think it's a different situation for Rodgers. He walks into this with nothing to lose because he knows he's still going to be the quarterback next year. Even if he's not even a free agent, even if he's a free agent somehow, which he's not because he's still got a couple years left on his contract. But let's say somehow he was not on the team, he's still going to get signed and make a good amount of money next year.
I can't believe Tampa Bay went this far.
Tom Brady might not be able to play another season and remain fully healthy, right? So it's a little bit different for him. He kind of has to win here.
Yeah, but look,
I'm going out and I'm balling because I can, not because I have to,
This is Brady's first year at Tampa Bay. I did not expect them to go that far as they've gone with the quarterback with his first team. Like that means that man.
I mean, it's literally team ring chase. I mean, it's literally what it is, like it's team ring chase and somehow it's working, it's worked before. I mean, there's teams of guys that are like, all in their 20s to 30, like late 20s to early, to early 30s that are like older, but like want to win rings still.
The only one that did that was Peyton Manning when he went to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm. That's not true. It's happened before for sure. But I mean, like, no, but like
Peyton Manning, I think is the only one that went to another team and came and won a Super Bowl.
He's definitely not.
No,
but.
Who else did that?
First of all, Philip Rivers didn't win a championship, but he did go to another team.
Hey, man, he didn't. The Colts didn't win a Super Bowl, though, did they?
No, he won one with us.
Yeah, he won with the Colts.
He also lost one with us. Thanks, Peyton.
Well, at least Eli got him back with the Giants. Eli won 2.
Peyton also won 2, but it took him a lot longer. Eli won 2 before Peyton won. Peyton had won 1, and then Eli won 2 before Peyton won another one.
They did Eli bad. They took him out they just kicked his ass.
It was time. He was done.
Yes.
And Daniel Jones was a bust.
No shit.
End on that. That's what we're ending the NFL talk.
Hey, we have found the Messiah. Shit.
I mean, that run just killed his career.
Yeah.
It was such a brutal moment.
Eagles. Did you see all the drama with the Eagles?
Yeah, so they just hired
got too much drama.
Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, something like that as the head coach.
On offensive coordinator for blah 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 blah. Who was
the
that?
Colts?
They Dan Quinn, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I hold on. I saw something about this. Let me look. I definitely saw something about the Eagles hiring the Colts coach.
Yeah, I think it was the Colts coach.
Yeah. And I'm like, I support it. I hope the guy go and wins the ring for Philly. It'd be really nice. He's gone to the NFC, so I don't really care because like if he was still in the AFC, I'd be like, what are you guys doing? You just gave a coach to another team, but
right.
But since it's out of conference and we won't see him unless it's a Super Bowl, I can't be upset about that. But Philip Rivers did retire, so there's that. So back to the grind quarterback wise, there's nothing new in Indianapolis. We've been doing this for the last decade. So,
Indianapolis need another Johnny Unitas.
I agree. We need to go back to the original NFL when Johnny Unitas was the greatest of all time. Anyway,
we need to just go ahead and just.
You know what the sad thing is? There were other guys around at the same time as Unitas. He still wasn't the greatest. That's
and Ryan, we're just not getting enough with. We could do so much more with Julio Jones if we had a more non-nervous quarterback. I feel Matt Ryan's nervous and he's lost his nerve.
Would you if the Falcons what pick do the Falcons have in the draft? Let's find out really quickly. NFL draft order.
We won too many games. We should have just blew them all.
Just want to see what the Falcons have, and I'm going to tell you who I think they probably will pick. The Falcons have pick 4. Okay, so at pick 4, likely you guys could get Justin Fields,
mm-hmm.
or potentially Mac Jones or Zach Wilson, depending on quarterback. All quarterbacks, really phenomenal first-round quarterbacks.
We need to get Lamar Jackson.
Well, that's not happening. He's literally going to be under contract. I bet. Didn't they sign him or something to a big deal? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big as Mahomes because he's not Mahomes, but but it was still a big deal for a guy that was joked about being, he's just a running back, But
he did his thing, man. But they got their ass whooped.
Okay, let's do a brief NBA because I don't even know what's going on.
In the NBA right now, the hot thing on in the NBA is talk about the New Jersey Nets the Brooklyn Nets because they got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. James Harden only played 2 games with them, but now they just lost to Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday, like 147 of 137. So they went to 2 overtimes and they lost in overtime with Kyrie back. Before then, they've been smashing people, but still, that's a high score. Cleveland was having a really good game. That dude from Cleveland, Cavaliers got this dude named I can't think of the dude's name. He's somebody now after yesterday.
I don't know, but I wonder I forget where Obi Toppin went. That was the story I wanted to follow because he's the guy that was making UD really good. I can't remember where Toppin ended up anyway. Because it was really sad because remember we were all really excited because they were on a run. They were going to they made the playoffs. They were going to run through the bracket.
We were talking about that the other day. Me and some people were talking about that because now that this year they're going to have March Madness, they're putting everybody in a bubble.
They still got the championship though,
and it's still like, damn,
they still got the championship. They canceled it. We got a championship. It doesn't matter.
We didn't get a championship. We got the most wins. That's pretty much what we got.
Yeah, so we still got the title for that year. So
no, they didn't give a title.
They didn't award a championship to the UD. That would just be ridiculous. All right, so just to end the show really quickly, let's go to NBA way too early MVP. Sports shows like to do this a lot, so I figured let's do it. Anyway, any ideas off the top of your heads, just who you've seen out there that's really impressed you on the floor?
Ja Morant.
Okay.
Ja Morant is indefinitely the best dude. I think, to me, the best young dude in the game right now. Ja Morant is completely unstoppable. He's dunking on people. He's the most exciting player to watch right now.
Tony?
I really couldn't.
Zion Wilson's good, but
It doesn't have to be they don't have to be the best player. You don't have to be forecasting who's going to be the MVP. It's just who you've seen so far that popped for you. For example, I was watching Chicago, and I got to look up the guy's name. I was watching because I have a friend who's a Bulls fan, and let me just look up their roster really quickly. And there was a guy that really popped for me. I had no idea who their roster was, but he was one of their better players, and I just if I had to say one, that's who I would go with. I'm just trying to look up the name right now. Anyway, well, Zach LaVine's obviously great, but maybe it was LaVine. Somebody like that, just somebody that you saw out there, and you're like, oh, I get why he's one of the best players on their team. Yeah, right. I don't know. Anyway, it's a sports show exercise. They like to do just to have fun. This is the sports I want to see. But anyway,
you know what? I forgot about the Greek freak, Giannis.
Giannis. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. I
forgot about him and Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi, yep. Right, that's what it is. Wait, Kawhi.
But I think Ja Morant is about to be the one.
Okay. Hey man, you never know when someone's gonna pop. It just sometimes you have a really great year.
Ja Morant, this is second year.
You watch Zion Williamson. By the way, Zion Williamson's not getting enough minutes, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, that's a problem, though, man. This is second year, man.
The guy is not wrong, but he has no place to say, oh, you should be getting more minutes at your age. Get out of here, dude. Go away.
He should be getting more minutes. I mean, he's, 22 or 20?
I don't care. He's 1 year out of his rookie year, and he was injured.
He's not old enough to drink yet. I don't think he's going to be the man. I think he's going to be an Anthony Hardaway. Come in and ball, but
I thought he was 22.
And what's his name? The dude from the Bulls. Derek. I
just had the roster pulled up.
Well, yeah, Zion ain't making no noise this year. Ja Morant is making all the noise.
I mean, are the Pelicans ever making noise? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's the old Hornets. Old Hornets.
Okay.
Oh, the dude from the Hornets, Alonzo Ball's son.
Oh yeah,
Melo.
Well, okay.
He balling.
He was looking better than his brother.
Yeah, he looking way better. He on a balling.
They were clowning his brother because he came out a year later and still looked better than him.
Yeah, his brother doing LaMelo doing good on the Hornets.
Yep.
They making a lot of that might be the MVP, the rookie of the year.
Oh, is the guy you were thinking of Devon Dotson or Devin Dotson? Is that the guy you were thinking of on the Bulls?
No, Derek something. You know who he is. He always was injured though.
Oh, I'm just not seeing him listed here. It could just be a name thing where I'm just not.
They might start NBA players requiring them to get the vaccine as a public service.
Derrick Rose, my bad. There you go. Can't even. Derrick Rose is injured all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Zion Williamson, I ain't heard nothing from him. They ain't got no kind of nobody. Everybody lost interest in him after he got injured. He get injured, and you don't play enough minutes.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, what is the guy supposed to do? Just like demand more minutes? They're not going to give it to him. He's got to prove it in practice. And if he's not had the time to be there in front of their eyes, what's he supposed to do? You know, like, I mean, we talked about Zion's injury when it happened on the show when we were still on the radio, like, and it was pretty catastrophic for the NBA when that happened, you know, like, because everyone was like so hyped for this kid to come in, and then now it was going to be delayed, you know.
Now they're talking about he has scored 20 plus points per game, and he's shooting at about 51% right now. So he is balling.
He's doing well. He's just not now. I guess the argument the dude was making is that, okay, well, if he was getting more minutes, that would obviously be higher. But I don't care. Let him do what he's going to do. Let him work his career out the way he's going to. If he's going to wash out, there's no amount of NBA stars from the past are they're going to actually do to change him, you know?
Right. Yeah. Right now, the Pelicans, they 5-8, so they ain't doing too well.
You know, one guy is not the answer on an NBA team. That's been known for forever, but like, he's definitely helping. I mean, I just don't know how well it's going to work out for them in the end. I hope Zion gets some help there eventually, but you know, it's like the same thing as like Obi Toppin. If he ends up in a place that deserves him,
yeah,
it's gonna be a rough couple of years for him, you know, like. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thought to end it on though. Is sports?
Ja Morant, he with the Grizzlies, man, and he number 6'3", and he is leaping. I think I'm just gonna say I think he's the new Michael Jordan. He only 21. He's born in 1999. 6'3",
younger than me, making millions of dollars a year.
I'm telling you, he's gonna be the most popular one.
You think?
Yeah, he's the best one to watch. Thank you. He's the most exciting player to watch right now.
All right. All right. Was there anything else anybody wanted to, like, any other topics that we missed out on? I don't want to make sure I didn't miss anything or anything like that before we wrap up.
You guys see all the memes of Bernie at the inauguration?
They were great. I saw, what was the one that I saw? It was
a few minutes ago in Facebook.
Nobody loves Bernie no more.
Everybody, let's talk about it. Bernie's giving off the vibe like he's going to deposit a security check.
Bernie's like, I have to be here. I have to be here. I didn't want to be here.
Bernie was sitting by himself like he's going to punch somebody if they can't even say something. He looked mad.
By the way, I'm officially retiring the Trump impression unless he decides to run again. So I'm done with it. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I'm done with him.
We're good.
Yeah. So bye, Trump. Bye, Don. Anyway,
there was another one that said Bernie's dressed like the inauguration's on his to-do list, but it's not his whole day.
He came through like he's about to leave. Like, I just stopped.
I love that Mike Pence was at the inauguration, but not at Trump's farewell speech.
Right.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was
shows you know,
he's setting up for 2024.
He did say in his goodbye speech that they were going to be back in some form, whatever that
That's
means.
dirty for that though. Like that's dirty. Like all the former presidents was there. I mean, come on.
Not all the former presidents. I mean, one of them was notably
the
not there.
last three. I mean, it was supposed to be four, but three: George Bush, Barack Obama.
The incumbent wasn't there, which is the important part that we're glossing over here. So, the incumbent, so Trump, I mean, he wasn't there. The current sitting president was not there at the transition of power, which is really concerning to me personally because it's not happened anytime like in like 100 years or something like that. It's really concerning to me. But that's what just happened.
Yeah, Trump done it. Like he got on the Hollywood access butts when he got to Florida. He about to start a new TV show.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will start like a news show or something like that, right? Or a news network or a podcast or all of the above. Probably, I hope not, but he can't really start any of those things because he got canceled. So I don't know.
He just buy the network.
Yeah, I mean, he can influence a network.
I mean, he's banned from YouTube and every social site.
Social media will be the easiest way to do it in 2020, especially if you're already a monetizable star. But he can't do that now, so
he's banned from all of them.
I mean, he could start his own version of Parler, but like, would it work? Who knows? You know,
no, because Parler's even being taken off.
Yeah, but if he has enough money, it would bankrupt him probably, but he could fund enough of it to.
But because of that capital shit, he can't get on TV. He can't do nothing.
Parler got taken off because from Amazon. Like
that's what I'm saying. You'd have to host it yourself. It would be an incredible amount of money you'd have to spend, but you could do it. You would just have to get permit. Then what would happen? The FCC would shut you down, and then it would be over. Yeah. So, which is where I presume this will all end. Was when Trump is finally told, no, just stop. Just go be an old man. Like,
yeah, Trump done. There's nothing he could do. They completely shut him down.
Wow, we're at an hour. Jeez, we've just been going. All right. All right. Well, is there anything else? I mean, I've just been enjoying the conversation, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a good one. All right, well, guys, if you want to see all the content like this in the future, make sure you like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you know when we go live, because we do go live for these shows. And we will see you all next time.
Hit the StreamYard.